Welcome to NFL Live. I'm your host, Brandon Stillman, along with Raj Layla and Hunter Mulholland. Heading right into things, we're going to start off with Raj. He'll be talking about the AFC East. Raj, what are your thoughts on the AFC East?
I think the AFC East is going to be somewhat tight this year, but overall I still think the Patriots will prevail. Here's why. Jimmy Garoppolo will lead the Patriots to 3-1 over the 4 games Tom Brady is suspended. And they have a really good defense. This may be the last year that the defense will be together because Jamie Collins and Dante Hightower will probably want big contracts going into next season. And then they traded away Chandler Jones, but in return they got Jonathan Cooper. And so he'll bolster the offensive line, which has had some struggles in the past year. And they also brought back Dante Scarnecchia to coach the offensive line, and the Patriots have been doing really well with him. Meanwhile, I think the Jets will probably secure a wild card spot because they have been doing really well in the past. Last year, they were they were a formidable team to face. But the one thing that they need to do before the season starts is get back Ryan Fitzpatrick. The other two teams, the Dolphins and the Bills, I think they'll do well. However, they'll face some struggles. But I think Peyton Manning helping out Ryan Tannehill will really improve Tannehill's play. Meanwhile, Rex Ryan and Rob Ryan will definitely improve the defense as they have produced great defenses in the past. So I think the AFC East is going to be a tight one this year, but overall, the Patriots will still lead it at the end of the season.
Who's the one team that you have the Patriots losing to?
I say the Arizona Cardinals just because they've been so good the last 2 years, and they've really figured out what it takes to be one of the best teams in the NFC West. And they've struggled against some teams, but they've also figured it out.
All right, those are some really good thoughts, Raj. Hunter is now going to talk about the Cleveland Browns.
All right. Cleveland fans, I'm sorry, but your only title hope is going to be the Cavaliers for a long time. Because the Cleveland Browns just have a mess in the front office and a mess on the field, especially with RG3 as a quarterback. RG3, he can't stay healthy even if he had the best offensive line in the NFL, which is the Dallas Cowboys. Even if he had the Cowboys' offensive line, he still could not stay healthy, as Romo has proven himself. So he will get injured sometime this year. I don't know when. I don't know if it's going to be early. I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs and he's going to get injured in the final week of the season. I have no clue. I'm going to say he's going to get injured, and you're going to lose another head coach.
All right, Hunter, I like your thoughts about the Cleveland Browns. Now I'm going to talk about the NFC North. This year saw a shock in the Vikings taking the division crown, but I think this year the Green Bay Packers will bounce back with their top target, Jordy Nelson, coming back and Aaron Rodgers going for an MVP year again. I think the Detroit Lions will have a major setback, losing Megatron this year. I think the Bears could have an average year going 8-8. The Vikings could be a wild card team, but I think the Packers will have a 13-3 season and win the division with all their targets back if all their players stay healthy. Now we will move on to bold predictions. Raj, let's hear your bold prediction first.
My bold prediction for the season is that the Oakland Raiders are going to win the AFC West. Derek Carr has been on the rise for the past few years, and he's been struggling initially, but last year he really picked up the pace and was doing some great things for the Raiders. I also think that Amari Cooper is going to be one of his big targets, and I think they're going to eventually win the AFC West this year, maybe the next year, but I think this year is it.
All right, Hunter, let's hear your
My prediction actually goes along with his, except a little bit different. I think the Kansas City Chiefs, if they can get a deal done with Eric Berry, I think that they can easily win it because Travis Kelce has proven that he is one of the better tight ends in this league, and he obviously gives them an option to pass it to if they're not going to run it with Jamal Charles right down their defense's throat, and he also gives Jamal another good blocker to run behind whenever they need to get a big gain from him. I feel that if they get Eric Berry back, Eric Berry and Dontari Poe and
Justin Houston.
Justin Houston, yeah. I feel like those guys, and Tamba Hali, I feel like those guys are going to be a dominant force. I feel like Eric Berry is again going to be one of the best safeties in the league, if not the best. And I feel that their front line could be as well as the Miami Dolphins, who have a decent, actually a pretty good front line with Cameron Wake and Mario Williams rushing off the edges, and Sue going down up against the nose guard.
All right, I think my bold prediction is going to be the Miami Dolphins this year, adding a lot of new talent, especially with Tunsil. If he can have the year that scouts thought he would have, without the off-the-field issues, I think he could have a monster year. And Tannehill getting the help from Peyton Manning, as you said before, Raj. I think Jarvis Landry could be another top target, and I think the Dolphins could have a chance for the playoffs this year, going 10-6. But that's all the time we have. I'm your host, Brandon Stillman, along with Hunter Mulholland and Raj Lele. Thanks for the time.